It was like welcome to Pop Smash on the go, basically, because I have to walk right now, doctor's orders, and I was like, why don't you just, you know, start just like doing this and walk a little bit, and that's what I'm gonna be doing right now. This is like super weird because guys, that I am not like so used to film in public, and it kind of like stresses me. I feel like everyone is gonna be able to hear what I'm saying, and that stresses me even more. Anyways, did you watch like the last episode of The Real House of Salt Lake City? Because that shit is just basically insane at this point. I'm just like thinking, I don't know, guys. Like it is just way too much. I'm having mixed feelings right now. When they announced that they were gonna go to Greece, I honestly got so excited. And not precisely because of Angie, but more because I, I mean, I love Greece. You know, if you have been watching uh, my other videos and my travel vlogs and stuff like that, you know that I love Greece. Like I'm very obsessed with Greece. I have been there 3 times. It's such a beautiful country, and I have such a special connection with the country, right? And I was very excited. I was like, oh my God, they're gonna go there. I actually remember talking to Angie like years ago, like 2 years ago, probably, when she just started. And I remember telling her, like, oh my God, it will be so exciting, that one day you get to take everyone to Greece. Like, I think this is the first time in like all of the housewives that they go to Greece for their cast trip. And I was like, that's like super exciting. I think that that would be super cool to show the world, what a beautiful place Greece is. And I was very excited, right? But I don't know what happened. This, like, it was very anticlimactic. I think so. I think it was very like, first of all, it's the first time ever that I can remember on like every franchise, like every season, that they don't dedicate a scene to actually um, tell everyone where are they going, especially for an international trip, right? Like they show it over here in like a flashback for like 30 seconds where Angie told everyone like, yeah, we're going to Greece. And I wonder why, because I think that's a big part of like really creating this moment where you are like celebrating that you are going as a group to an international um, destiny. And again, Greece is like such a big thing that I thought that it was going to be more, you know what I mean? Like I thought it was going to be more like a thing, like when Shannon Bedore announces that they were gonna go to London, stuff like that. I think it was going to be more like, yeah, we're going to this place. And I mean, Angie, I think I thought that she would have done like this huge Greek announcement. And it was very much kind of like, oh, by the way, like tomorrow we're going to Greece. Like it was so weird. It was so weird. I was like, okay. So that right there, I think it set the tone for the trip in general. I don't know how you guys feel about that. Um, I think it was uh they going into Greece. It's like they decided that this trip was not going to be as big as international trips are usually. Like the footage at the airport was weird. There was no really things at the plane. Like it was very weird. And I know like some of them have like certain like problems, and maybe they're not like as unique as they usually are, but still, you are getting a freaking trip to Greece. So why it was like this? Why was so anticlimactic? Why it was so like if it was whatever other thing? You know what I mean? And then they get to Greece. I think they might be going to somewhere else, but like for now, they went to Santorini, which I get it. Santorini is like the touristy place. The beautiful place. You have the beautiful views. You have the you know environment and everything. But I don't know. I just feel like it's lacking. I just feel like whoever was in charge of producing the footage for that trip was really not doing a good job because it was very much kind of like wherever. As a person, look, I have been in Greece, like I told you guys, 3 times. I have been to the island, I have been to the mainland. Greece has probably some of the most beautiful landscapes that you can imagine. Being right there in Santorini, and like you just like um look at the distance, and the Mediterranean is right there, and the colors, the sunset, that special blue that comes from the Santorini island. Like everything is like really, really beautiful. And I feel like they just did not show what they were supposed to show. It was very much kind of like just little clips here and there, right? And then, I mean, you can 100% see that there is this broken like relationship with like everyone, you know like no one is really talking to anyone. There are like a lot of things to discuss. No one wants to really discuss anything, and it was like very weird, right? Then we go to like this amazing villa where they are staying again. Anticlimactic. There was no showing of the house like they usually do. There is no like how they choose the room. I think like that's one of the parts that like we always love to watch, is like everyone just like fighting for the damn rooms. There was like none of that. Like it was so like, oh yeah, it is what it is. It felt like it was lacking something, like there was a part that I was like, I just think that you are not doing it, um you are not doing it the right way, you know what I mean? So I don't know. Now that's kind of like from the trip in itself. Now I let's talk about the drama. Of course, the drama is getting a little bit stale, and I am a little bit worried. We all know that Real House of Salt Lake City is the number one show right now. We all love it. We love what they have done. But I have this feeling, and guys, that I am never wrong about these feelings, that something has to change. This weird obsession of Heather and Whitney with Meredith and Lisa is just way too weird. And I have been watching a lot of people not being really happy with the way Heather is now behaving. I think in her mind, she thinks she's being this, truth teller, and that she's bringing all of this hit. And I don't know if she's trying to recreate her moment when, the receipt things, which we all acknowledge is part of housewife history now, right? But I think it's like, why are you so obsessed with this whole Meredith and Lisa situation? It's weird. You know what I mean? Like, Heather was such a big friend to Lisa the past couple years. Everything was going perfect, and then out of nowhere, it's like a switch happened in her brain, and then it's like, oh, like I decided that we're not gonna be friends anymore, and it is just like I just don't understand it, right? And then she keeps going and going and going, and then I feel that because she knows that she cannot take Lisa down by herself, now she's trying to go after Meredith. Why? Because look, I love my girl Meredith. I really love her. I think she's amazing. I think she's great. I think she's doing amazing things, But the one thing that Meredith lacks is confrontation, you know. She is kind of like she's not able to really speak her mind too much. I mean, yes, we have seen Meredith like lose her shit sometimes, but like you have to take her there, right? And that's kind of like her last resource. And I think that, when you have Heather screaming at you and Whitney screaming at you and crying and saying, like, you are the reason why the group is so fractured, you know, and the only thing that Meredith can say is, well, I don't agree. It's kind of like, girl, you're a housewife, okay? And you're a seasoned housewife right now. This is your sixth year doing this. You should know better, you know? Like she literally tells Bronwyn, like, oh, just be careful because they're not gonna let it go, you just open this Pandora box and now they're not gonna let it go because I know for experience, okay, you know for experience that, then you should know for experience that you have to stand up to Heather and Whitney. And I think it's also very interesting to see how Lisa actually has Meredith's back like a real sister. Like Lisa does not let these girls talk any shit about Meredith. And we have to understand and we have to know that when they are attacking Lisa, Meredith usually does not, respond as hard. And I think that's why sometimes Lisa is a little bit annoyed. Now, I understand that this is Meredith's personality and it is hard. Look, I am not a confrontational person either, so I'm not saying that this is easy to do. I understand that it is annoying to confront people, to fight with people. Um, I know, I get it. But this is also your job, and your job is to create this moment. So, I think at the end of the day, I will be like, fuck it, these girls want me to scream, let's scream, let's go there. I think that the game of like, I'm not gonna like stew to your low bar doesn't apply over here because sometimes you have to go low. And Heather has this vendetta. I'm thinking that because Heather and Whitney cannot take Lisa down, they want to take Meredith down so Lisa will be isolated, you know, and then it will be easier to come after Lisa. That's my theory, right? But I think also like I think it must be very frustrating for the other girls to see how much power actually Lisa and Meredith has over the fans. And I think this is something that we have not been brainwashed or anything. We just watch these two women being amazing, doing amazing things, living a very different life than us, and we just love every second and we want more of that, right? Like Lisa having $60,000 rings and having a horse and four Porsches, and all of that. That's what I want on my housewives. Like Meredith going on tour with like a new random DJ career, right? This is what we want, housewives, because they can, I don't know, they have a quality. I don't even know exactly how to explain it, but it's just a quality that they have, and that's what we want. Watching Heather and Whitney being obsessed over and over and over something so stupid that we do not want to watch. It is also very weird that Brittany never talks. You know, this whole drama it's supposed because they treat Brittany like shit, like Meredith shake the 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 seed, and throw wine on her, and like all of the shit that they're trying to say. And everyone is talking about it except Brittany. Why Brittany has not stood up and say exactly what happened? If you really think about it, we have not heard Brittany really, really like take us through what happened on that plane. And she only runs with whatever the other people are saying. And I think it's because Brittany, she's thirsty for a snowflake. I think she believes that if she allowed them to say whatever they want to say, to try to take down Meredith and or Lisa, then she will be able to snatch that snowflake. But also, guys, and this is like a little bit of tea that I have for you guys. Brittany, she acts dumb, but she's not dumb. Okay? And you will see this. She knows what she's doing. And I believe that Brittany might be using Heather and Whitney and Angie and Bronwyn. And I have a feeling that she will be snatching one of those snowflakes. You know, I think that's what is going to be happening over here. Um, and I have a feeling that it might be either Whitney's or, and you might be surprised by this, Angie's, you know. And some things that I have heard from multiple sources, you know. And also, I believe it's true because I have seen the reactions of people around. When it comes to Whitney, she has really nothing else to give us anymore, you know. Her storylines are basically her obsession with Lisa. That's it. She tried to create a moment with her failing business and all of that. But then she fails to mention that the main reason why her business failed is because she's being accused of scamming people. If I was being accused of being a scammer, of taking money from people in a show like Housewife, where we already have so many legal drama before, I will be mentioning it all on camera. I will be saying, this is what happened. I will be, you know, bringing the girl who did the TikTok who felt scammed, you know. I will be calling her and bringing her on camera and saying, tell me your experience, what happened. I'll tell you what is the truth or how can we fix this. Something like that. Unless you really are or were running a scam and you got caught and you cannot talk about it. You know what I mean? So I believe that Whitney's story is done. On the other side, Angie Katzenevas, she has a good fandom. She has managed to create a good little fandom for herself. I'm gonna give her that. And the only problem that I have with Angie is it's not really as a housewife, but as a friend. You know, I believe that Angie, yeah, she is a good housewife. She knows how to create drama. She knows how to create good TV moments. But as a friend to like Lisa or Meredith, I have never been able to really understand why she's so angry. And the only thing that it comes to my mind is jealousy, right? We have seen Angie literally try to copy every single thing that Lisa has done. Out of spite, out of jealousy, you name it. Um, I know for a fact that Angie was furious that Lisa got the Kerastasi deal, right? You know, she thinks that she has the hair salons, that hair is supposed to be her thing, and blah blah blah. And I'm like, well, you didn't do the Kerastasi comment, and you don't have the same marketing skills to sell like Lisa does, you know. The only thing that Angie has trying to do is sell glasses, and I don't think that really worked out. We have known that Lisa has had one of the longest collaborations in a housewife that we have seen in a long time with Wendy's, right? And then out of nowhere, Angie decides to do this Arby's weird collaboration, which is super weird because we all know that Angie does not consume fast food, and she is very peculiar on what she eats. You know, she's very like healthy oriented and fit oriented, and she does not eat fast food. So why are you promoting Arby's when you don't like Arby's? Lisa promotes Wendy's because she genuinely loves Wendy's and eat there like almost every other day, right? Angie did it out of spite, thinking that she could either get to Lisa's level or get under Lisa's skin. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like this constant thing. However, reading about it, on social media, on all of the platforms, I do not see people being as engaged and excited about Angie as they were before, right? Which that's the tricky part. You could be an amazing housewife a couple seasons, and then we will be done with you. It's like you are a shiny toy, you know? And as soon as we got tired of playing with you, just bring the next one. And then we have the actual top tier real housewives, um, that will, child. Sorry, I'm going on a little hill. We have the actual top tier housewives, that we just love season after season after season, no matter what. Like Lisa Barlow, like the Lisa's Vanderpumps, like the Nene Leakes, like the Vicky Gumbel sons, like, that kind of housewife. So um, I'm feeling that Angie might get a little bit too excited, but her time, unless she brings something not even big, but like interesting that captivate us, it's not gonna work out. And I really thought that this Greece trip was going to be her baby and her big thing. And I don't think she is, or that she take enough, you know, time to really do it the right way for the cameras and for the audience. You know what I mean? And production is definitely not helping. So that's why I wouldn't be even surprised if for some random reason Brittany end up snatching Angie's snowflake. But that's kind of like my second choice. I do believe that Brittany will be taking Whitney's snowflake, you know? I just have that little feeling inside of me. Now, there is a rumor going around that Meredith might be on the shopping block, right? I have asked around. I have not had any confirmation about that. I believe that it might be a fake rumor, you know? Uh, and sometimes these fake rumors are putting out there by, a housewife team to see how people feel about it. I don't think that is really going to happen. I think Meredith is, it's big, and I don't think Bravo will, take her out that easily. Uh, the rumor was that, that Meredith is asking for double her salary for next season, and that Bravo will probably not give her that, and then she will walk away. I don't know, I mean, uh, look, if it was true, I will say, like, Meredith, girl, you need to chill, okay? Yes, you're doing good. Yes, people love you. But asking for such a big thing on Bravo right now, I don't think it's gonna work out for you, girl. Who invented heels? Anyways, um, so I don't think that is gonna happen. But also, I believe that that rumor is fake. I don't think that Bravo is gonna play. In fact, I think Salt Lake City has one of the strongest casts. But we cannot continue on the same line of, like, only having these girls going against Lisa and Meredith. So I do believe that maybe it's time for a change. If it was up to me, by Whitney, you know, bring a new housewife and some new blood, maybe, change everything. Uh, Maybe someone who is an actual friend of Lisa and Meredith. I think that would be a good option, because we need to balance it out a little bit. And Heather needs to, like, take several seats, stop with the mean girl act, you know, and do better, right? Bronwyn, I think Bronwyn is in a sweet spot right now. I think she needs to keep it real, not real, but consistent, We all literally saw her saying that she told Todd that, and we saw also the conversation with Todd about having an open marriage, which I was actually kind of, like, excited. I think that that's something that should be explored in Housewife as well. Um, but then she goes on and denies everything, and I think I love Mary for checking her out, and for saying, like, bitch, you literally said that to us. Um, so the whole change of now trying to act like, oh my God, like, I will never, like, what is an open marriage? It's like, but I think she's in a sweet spot right now because she's not really feuding too much with anyone. I think she let go her issues with Lisa a little bit, and I think she's kind of, like, staying. So I mean, she's not gonna be able to maintain that for long, but at least she will be. I think it will give her at least another season to find a strong storyline, you know. So, anyways, that's what happened this last episode, and I'm I'm a little, like, upset about the whole Greece thing. I know we have a couple more episodes in Greece, so I'm really gonna hope that they're gonna change that editing a little bit, but we'll see, right? Guys, whew, I'm almost back home. I just want to mention very quickly that you guys better be watching Vanderpump Rules, because honestly, this new season is good. It's good. I am loving them. I think these guys have so much them potential. It's it's kind of crazy, like, really, it's insane. They are bringing. They are. I mean, we are only 2 episodes in, and I already are starting to feel connection to some of these people. The last episode was really good. It really gave us the chaos and the mess that literally will tell you this is a good show, you know? Like it really it's going there. Like we have Audrey literally turning 22. 22. Yeah. And as she's getting like literal lap dances from Chris and the other guys. I don't remember the um Jason. Yes. Chris and Jason, like the hottest guys in the show right now. Uh we have Natalie and Marcus's girlfriend. I haven't learned her name. Crying in the back. I think that was one of the most genius scenes that we have seen because it's it's literally right there. Like you have on the front of the camera Audrey getting lap dance by half naked guys. And on the back we have this girl crying on Natalie's lap because she just heard Marcus saying that he is falling off uh falling off love, whatever. And literally like 20 minutes before, she was accusing Natalie of trying to steal Marcus. And now she's crying to her. Like, such a mess. But it was so good, guys. I was not expecting to care for Marcus so much. But the scene, a couple of things. First of all, the scene of him, sorry, crying to Lisa because he just lost both of his parents and he's experiencing like what it's like to be, you know, um, basically an orphan, you know, it's so powerful. I literally cried. I literally cried watching that. Like I was like, this is powerful stuff right here, you know. We see that, I mean, Lisa now has HR and now she is giving free consult and therapy to these people, like the change from the OGs. I bet that every single OG is like basically saying like, where was my free therapy when I needed it? But anyways, it was like really, really good. And also, that's one of the reasons what I'm thinking that Marcus and this girl are definitely not gonna last, you know? Because what do you mean? And she literally says in front of the camera, she literally says like, oh, Marcus is like so different. Like he's not the same person. It's like his dad died and he turned into a completely different person. I'm like, bitch, trying to lose both of your parents. Like trying to lose your mom and your dad if you were close to them, you know, and trying to tell me that you're just gonna be the same person and you're just gonna be happy, and like, oh, that happened like a month ago. He should be already over it. Like, I was like, shut up, like grieving is such a powerful thing. It's so different on every person. I cannot imagine the grieving of losing your parents, losing your father, and losing then your mother. And I'm so sorry, but having a little bitch come here telling me that I am so different, yes, of course I'm going to be different. I fucking lost my parents. You know what I mean? So, um, I don't know. Like, wow. I was wild to me. And I'm like, yeah, Marcus, I don't think this is gonna work out. I love when he's sitting with, I think it's his brother, and he says, like, look, I love her, but I prefer to have like peace and stability over love and craziness. And that is so true. Like you don't need toxic love in your life, you know? All right, guys. Um and I also have to give a shout out to Venus because again, first of all, applause. We have amazing queer representation. Like he's doing a great job. I think he's very stable, and to join, a reality show. And he has a powerful backstory, and I think we're gonna be learning a lot about that. It only took 12 years for Vanderpump Rules to include a gay guy on, a restaurant that literally is on one of the um, gayest cities in the world, But I love it. I love him, and I think he's very, he's very nice and he's very cute, and I think he's a star, and I think he's gonna give us a lot of surprises. So guys, go and watch Vanderpump Rules ASAP. Okay, it is really, really, really good. I approve of this message, and let's give it all of our support. Let's make them see that the Beverly Troop is supporting the new Vanderpump Rules. All right, guys, I'm back home. Thank you for keeping me company. I love you. Don't forget to like this video, share this video, subscribe, and I'll see you around. See ya. Bye.